guys, Xtremis Models here, back at you with another video. Again, sorry it's been so long since I've done a video. I know that the last Corvette video that I've done was roughly a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And I know that you guys have been waiting to see some more content on that build, but about 2 or so weeks after I shot that video, I ended up getting really sick. Ended up with strep throat, and then that turned into a really bad sinus infection, and had a bunch of other stuff go on, and it took me probably 2 or 3 solid weeks after that to get to where I was feeling better. And I didn't really do much on it afterwards. Had been working on some other projects, you know, over the weekend lives with Brian and everybody, and just you know, trying to keep myself busy. And I figured, you know what, if I'm gonna do a video, might as well do a little bench update like I done a while back ago, and kind of give you guys a heads up of where we're at with some of the builds that I've got on the table. So anyways, I'll get on with the video. Alright guys, so we'll start off the video with a little C7R Corvette update, because there's actually the least to go over with this particular build. Right now it's mocked up, nothing's completely glued in place, you know, except for the side skirts and the rear diffuser. The wing can be pulled off, the glass and everything. But I believe in the last video I discussed the option of maybe removing the original front clip and replacing it with the updated, more aggressive front clip, and I ended up doing that and had planned to make a video on it, but like I said in the intro, you know, I ended up getting sick, and you know, it just, when you don't feel good, you don't feel good. I didn't really feel like filming anything. So in the meantime, I've used a panel line scriber to go in and cut this line here, this line, and this line to remove this from the original kit. And the only real prep work that I had to do to the new resin piece was go in and clean up the contact edges where this actually glues to the front of the existing kit. And I gotta say, I'm really glad that I opted to go with the updated front clip. It would be kind of useless to have bought the entire resin upgrade and not use the main piece. So in doing that, I've kind of had this idea the past couple of days, with the 24 hours of Le Mans going on. That just finished out this morning. After seeing the Garage 56 car out there at Le Mans, I've kind of had this idea to turn this car into more of like a kind of like a developmental type C7. It's already deviated from, you know, being a original race spec Corvette already with this upgrade kit, and I've thought about, you know, doing some more to it, going in, adding a bigger lower splitter, some nice canards, do some Garage 56 style canards back here on the back, make the wing plates a little bit bigger. You know, just there's so much stuff that I would really like to do with this kit in terms of aero, and I think I'm going to tackle that next. But you know, other than that, like I said, everything is just mocked up right now. I know that Brian just finished his. Miguel is MIA right now because he's moving, and I can't wait for him to get everything set up where he's moving to, and hopefully we can get him back building pretty soon. But you know, Miguel, we all miss you, brother, and you know, look forward to building with you soon. I know that Luis joined in from Project O, or Project Zero. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Luis. I'm bad with channel names sometimes. I know that he joined in, and I believe he's already in the paint stage on his, so we'll be looking forward to seeing his Corvette get finished up pretty soon as well. But like I said, everything on this one is just mocked up for now. But other than that, there's not a lot left to go over on the Corvette. So we will move this one out of the way very carefully so that we don't drop it and screw something up. And we will move the next build, move it along so you guys can see some of the progress on this particular project. The 1970 Plymouth AAR Cuda Pro Mod car. Haven't really done a whole lot to this one except for the massive drag wing that's now jutting off the back of the car. Again, haven't really spent a whole lot of time lately on this one because of the project that I'm going to show you guys after I get done kind of filling you in on this one. I do need to get back to work on some of these. But in the meantime, I have built the drag wing. I have scratch built the rear shocks, which I would show you, but this is all still very loosely mocked up. And yeah, it's a mess. But it does have shocks in the rear now. I have finalized the rod height. I've got it where I want it. I think it looks good. I do want to do something along the bottom here. I'm not necessarily sure what that's going to be. If I'm going to do one of the 70s style valences that you would see on some of these cars from back in the day, or if I'm going to do a full extension off the bottom of the front bumper and really tie it in nicely. The motor plate is built, which I'll zoom you guys in down there so you can see it if the camera will focus. Let me adjust my lighting a little bit. But the motor plate is built. It is installed on the engine now. I do have to go in and add some of the bolt detail, and the catch can will be installed on the motor plate. Everything's going to be tucked in really nicely. And I'm probably going to stuff the fuel cell somewhere up front. This depicting a methanol Pro Mod car, there's no need for me to run a radiator on this kit. Let me get this fixed. There's no need for me to run a radiator on this kit because most of the time methanol cars don't need a radiator. So if you're wondering why I haven't done that, that's why. But once we get the catch can in and get the fuel cell mocked up, and all of that major engine bay detail is where I want it, then I can start doing the interior. And I've already got an idea for, you know, the dash, and I've got a seat picked out. I've already got belts, and then we can get the parachutes figured out. One of the things that I want to try to tackle with this build, though, is the Lexan windows. I know that they're mounted externally on a lot of drag cars, and there's like these little pins that hold them in along the you know, the outer perimeter of the trim here. I want to try to do that. I have no idea how to do it, so I'm gonna have to get on some of the Facebook pages and YouTube channels and try to learn from some of these guys that are better at this stuff than I am on how to do it. So yeah, that's where we're at with the Cuda. Not a lot's changed since last time, but I have been slowly plugging away on it and a couple of other builds. Up next is what's been taking up a lot of my build time lately. Now, if you guys remember, about 2 years ago, I kind of did a review video on some of my builds that I had already completed. And at the end of the video, I featured a build that I hadn't even really started, you know, in stone yet. And I had no name for it. I had no plans on how I was going to tackle the build. I kind of gave you guys a little idea of, you know, what I wanted the overall build to look like. And I decided a while back ago to go ahead and give it a shot, and this is where I'm at with it. This is one of my big entries for Acme this year. It is a 1928 Ford with a 14.9 liter Cummins X15 with a Spicer trans. It's got a Rockwell 2.5 ton rear axle. It's all on bags. It's 4-link. Yeah, a lot of tricky stuff going on with this one, but the name of this build is Attraction, and it will be at this year's Acme show. Now, a couple of the complicated things about this build so far has been figuring out how to get this Jimmy Flintstone 1928 Ford body to work with this gigantic transmission that's in here, and then designing a floor pan that was going to work as well. So the way that I've set this up, this particular build, for this to work, you know, having a body that's literally not any bigger than the engine and trans, I had to move everything forward, which works out because I wanted this this build to be like a really long and wide, aggressive looking build, you know, kind of like I did with the Nighthawk. And the way I've got this set up is we're not going to be running a trans tunnel. Instead, we're going to be throwing a little nod to Mr. Papa Z, Rick Zink over at Skeletal Remains, calling this bit here the rib cage. And the drive shaft will be completely exposed. It'll pass through this rear bulkhead and into the front of the rear end, right back there. As you can see, it's all kind of like loosely mocked up. But yeah, not a lot really to talk about on this one yet. It's still kind of just roughed in. The chassis is, you know, what you guys know me for is a scratch builder. The chassis is scratch built. It's 100% scratch built. Oh, look at that. The tracks are falling off. Anyways, it's a scratch built chassis. Still got to go in and clean a lot of the joints up where the rails come together. But yeah, there's another look at the rear end in place. But it is it's a big project of mine. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The finish idea for this will be really just a nasty old kind of garby, rusty rat rod style finish. But yeah, really not a lot to go over on this one right now either. Like I said, it's still kind of just, you know, in the developmental stages, and there's still a lot of work left to be done on it. But yeah, other than that, there's not really a lot else to go over with it. I'll keep you guys filled in on this one when we get back to work on it. Another build right now that I don't know if I featured in the bench update a while back ago. The reason why I didn't feature this one was because I was kind of irritated with the overall build. And not for any real bad reasons. I just, when I don't have stuff available, it kind of gets me a little discouraged, I guess you could say. If I'm looking for a certain thing to go on a build and I can't find it, I get kind of lazy from time to time. And, you know, knowing that I could probably just scratch build whatever it is that I'm looking for, I ended up boxing this truck up a while back ago, and yeah, this build's been a about a year-long project. I'm gonna dump all this stuff out of the bed, put the bed back on so you guys can see what we're doing here. But anyways, this is a 1972 Ford F-350. It is a SEMA style truck. It's been called my SEMA build, and it started out as a Mobius kit. I had to take another Mobius kit and go in and hack the back of the first cab off and then back half it with the rest of a second cab. So I ended up having to use two kits to make the full four-door truck. It is on a, wow, got tires falling off this one too, but anyways, it is on a BSR 3D coilover lift kit. They're like 30 inches or something. I think they're like a 30-inch lift kit or something like that. Uses a scratch built 4-link setup, and it's got these old cast resin axles. I can't remember which ones these are, but if I figure it out before I'm done editing the video, I will definitely throw a link to these in my description, because I get asked a lot where I get a lot of my hardware for the bigger trucks that I use, like rear ends and front axles and engines and stuff like that. But what ended up slowing this build down for me, and the reason why I boxed it up, is I had been looking for bumpers for this truck forever, man. Like, God, I mean, I was looking and looking for bumpers to go on this thing, and I knew that I wanted like some really nice winch bumpers. But I got to looking, and I was like, you know, they would probably look a little bulky, and at the time I had these different tires and wheels ready to go on this truck, and you know, at the time I just thought that doing winch bumpers probably would not look that great. So got on Google and started looking up some really nice tubular bumpers, and I settled on, I think they're SVC off-road bumpers for like the newer Raptors, and I tried to replicate them as best that I could, and I think I did a pretty good job on them. And then I ordered the light bars from eBay. But the bumpers were literally the only thing from stopping the progress on this truck. And now that they're on, all I've got to do now is build some, I'm thinking about building some step rails. I've got a little bit of engine bay detail left to finish up with this one. This truck does have a hinged hood. The truck also uses a compound boosted 12 valve Cummins, so there's two turbos in there. It's not a twin turbo, it's a compound turbo, but it does have a hinged hood, nice big roof rack on top, and stack exhaust. The tires and wheels are from RC 4-wheel drive, I believe, and they are for the 1.0 SCX 24 RC trucks. And in 1/25th scale, these tires are equivalent to about a 54-inch tire. And they use these really nice aluminum beadlock wheels. So that's where we're at with this one. It's probably the closest one to being finished right now of all the builds that I've got currently going on. There is another build that I've got going on between, or with, that I'm using display base and 3 planes. I won't be going over that one in this video because I'm kind of going to do a series on that by itself, and that'll be coming at a later date. But another build that I've got in progress right now is this. This is actually the second one of these that I've done, because in either the next video or the video after that, I'm going to be doing a completed model build video on the other Max D truck that's already done. Some of you guys that are here watching this are probably here from Instagram. By now you've already seen it. But I built kind of like a hybrid, I guess you could call it a hybrid setup monster truck, where I took a kit, an existing Gravedigger kit, and converted it over to front engine like the real Maximum Destruction truck is. I had to have a kit to start with, and then I used the Revell Max D snap tight body and tires and wheels and some other goodies to basically take two kits and make one. And this is the second truck that I'm building. I've got a whole other paint plan assigned for this one that I really want to do with this, and I've got 5 tickets to the Monster Jam World Finals in Nashville this year. We're about 3 weeks out from when I'm making this video right now. About 2-3 weeks out, and we've got pit party passes, and I believe that Tom Mintz is going to be out there, and if he is, I would really like to you know, maybe gift him this build to take with him. So yeah, really looking forward to that. If he's not there, then, you know, I'm not going to complain taking a build back home with me and putting it back in the display case. So a couple weeks ago, I went out, and actually it was last weekend, I went out and saw my dad for the first time in a little while, and he gave me some kits while I was down there. There's just 2 kits, nothing major. And this leads me to the next part of this video. One of the kits that he sent me home with was this really nice 1957 Bel Air from AMT, and neither one of these kits that I'm showing you have all of the parts in them, which means I pretty much get to go crazy and do what I want to with them. So you know, I figured maybe I'll leave it up to you guys. Leave me some comments on what you think I ought to do with this 57 Bel Air kit. Should we pro street it and go full Fred Henry mode? Should I jack it up and turn it into like a diesel swapped type deal? I mean, I'm open to anything. So you guys give me some ideas on that. But there's that one, and then he sent me home with this one. The box is kind of beat up a little bit, but it's this Monogram 41 Willys pickup, and I kind of want to stick with the whole drag truck build. But again, there are parts missing out of this one, and there are parts in this one that are damaged. So, you know, we're gonna have to replace them or rebuild them. So you guys can give me some ideas on this one too, as to you know, what you want to see me do with it. But yeah, huge shout out to Dad for sending those home with me. I'm always a fan of you know, getting more model kits. There's no such thing as too many model kits. But anyways, guys, that's gonna about wrap it up for this one. I'm just gonna slide this back in there so you guys aren't staring at a cutting mat. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Again, guys, sorry it took me so long to get back to you guys, especially on the Corvette content. You know, but I'm back now. I'm feeling a lot better, and you know, my video schedule will hopefully resume back to the way it was. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you stay notified on all of my new videos coming out. Please like, comment, and share. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care. Yeah.